Most people have it completely backwards. They think heart trouble starts the moment an artery gets blocked. But that's the final chapter of a story that began years, sometimes decades earlier. It starts silently, invisibly, with something almost nobody talks about: your arteries slowly losing their elasticity. And the wildest part? Most people have absolutely no idea it's happening to them right now. And here's what I need you to really sit with for a moment. Right now, this very second, as you're listening to my voice, your arteries are making a choice. They are either maintaining their flexibility, staying supple and responsive, or they are gradually, quietly becoming more stiff. And that one biological shift, that single change in your vessel walls, can determine your blood pressure, your circulation, your energy levels, your cognitive sharpness, and your long-term risk of serious heart disease. This is not a small thing. This is everything. My name is Louisa Hart, and I have spent years studying the intersection of cardiovascular health, lifestyle medicine, and the incredible, almost miraculous adaptability of the human body. And what I'm about to share with you changed the way I think about heart health forever. And I believe it will do the same for you. Here's what you need to understand first. Your arteries are not pipes. They are not rigid, static tubes running through your body like plumbing in a house. They are alive. They are dynamic, elastic, breathing tissues that respond to every single thing you do, every meal you eat, every breath you take, every emotion you feel. Every time your heart beats, and it beats roughly 100,000 times a day, your healthy arteries are supposed to expand and then recoil, like a perfectly tuned elastic band, propelling blood smoothly and efficiently throughout every corner of your body. That rhythmic flexibility is not just a bonus, it is absolutely essential to your survival. But here's where it gets serious. Over time, that elasticity begins to fade. The arterial walls become harder, less responsive, less able to do their job. And when that happens, your heart has to work dramatically harder just to push blood through them. Your blood pressure climbs, your circulation suffers, and the downstream effects on your brain, your kidneys, your eyes, your limbs begin to compound quietly in the background long before any symptom ever appears. Now, I want to stop you right there because this is the moment where most people make a critical mistake. They hear arterial stiffness and they think, well, that's just aging, that's inevitable, there's nothing I can do. And that belief, that single, passive, defeated thought, is one of the most dangerous things a person can carry, because it is simply not true. This is not about getting older. This is about what you do every single day, and I will prove it to you. Inside the inner wall of every blood vessel in your body lives an extraordinary structure called the endothelium. It's a single layer of cells so thin it's almost invisible, and yet it is one of the most powerful biological systems in your entire body. The endothelium is the master regulator of your vascular health. It controls whether your arteries relax or constrict. It governs blood flow, inflammation, clotting, and repair. And it produces something absolutely critical, something I want you to remember, called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a molecule, a tiny, powerful signaling gas that tells your blood vessels to open up, to relax, to allow blood to flow freely and efficiently. When your nitric oxide levels are healthy, your arteries stay supple, your blood pressure stays manageable, your circulation stays strong. But when something disrupts that system, and there are many things that do, everything begins to unravel. Chronic stress floods your body with cortisol, a hormone that over time degrades the endothelial lining and suppresses nitric oxide production. A diet high in processed foods and refined sugars causes repeated inflammation that attacks that same delicate inner lining. Constant blood sugar spikes, and I mean the kind that happen when you eat every 2 hours without giving your body a break, create a biochemical environment that accelerates arterial stiffening at a terrifying pace. Lack of movement allows blood to pool and stagnate. Dehydration thickens the blood and puts your vessels under strain. And all of this happens slowly, quietly, without symptoms, until one day it isn't quiet anymore. I want to give you a mental image that I think is more powerful than any medical chart. Think about a rubber band, a brand new one, fresh out of the bag. You can stretch it easily. It snaps back instantly. It's responsive, elastic, full of life. Now imagine leaving that same rubber band in a hot drawer for years. You take it out one day and it's dry, it's brittle. You stretch it gently and it cracks or breaks entirely. It has lost its ability to do the one thing it was designed to do. That is what is happening inside the arteries of millions of people right now, not because of age, not because of bad luck, but because of years of signals, dietary, behavioral, emotional, telling those arterial walls to stiffen up and stop responding. And here is where I want to shift the entire energy of this conversation, because I have seen with my own eyes and in the research I have studied deeply, people in their 40s with arteries that behave like those of an 80-year-old, stiff, unresponsive, struggling. And I have seen people in their 70s, people who made different choices, who understood what their body needed, with arterial flexibility that rivals someone half their age. The difference was not genetics. The difference was daily signals. The difference was what they chose to do consistently over time. And that means you have more power here than you have ever been told. So let me give you the framework. The 5 pillars that I believe are absolutely foundational to protecting, preserving, and even restoring arterial flexibility. These are not gimmicks. These are not supplements with wild claims. These are evidence-backed, physiologically grounded strategies that work with your body's own biology. Pillar 1, movement. And I mean real, intentional, daily movement. Here's something most people don't appreciate about circulation. Your heart is an incredible pump, but it was never designed to work alone. The muscles in your body, especially the large muscles in your calves and thighs, act as secondary pumps. Every time those muscles contract, they squeeze the veins running through them and push blood back up toward the heart. It's called the musculovenous pump, and it is absolutely vital to healthy circulation. When you sit for extended periods, and in modern life most of us sit for terrifying amounts of time, that secondary pump goes offline. Blood becomes sluggish. Pressure builds inside your vessels. Nutrients and oxygen stop moving efficiently. And your arteries respond to that chronic low-flow environment by stiffening. The solution does not require a gym membership or an hour of intense training every day. Start with walking. Walking for just 5 to 10 minutes after each meal has been shown to meaningfully improve post-meal blood sugar levels, reduce vascular inflammation, and support circulation. That is a 15 to 30-minute investment across your entire day in exchange for a dramatically healthier cardiovascular system. That is an extraordinary return. Pillar 2, protect and boost your nitric oxide. I already told you how critical nitric oxide is. Now let me tell you how to get more of it. Certain foods are extraordinarily rich in dietary nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. Beets, arugula, spinach, dark leafy greens of all kinds. These are not just healthy foods in a general sense. They are specifically, mechanistically supportive of vascular health in a way that few other foods are. But here's the one that surprises almost everyone: nasal breathing. When you breathe through your nose, as opposed to mouth breathing, which is far more common than most people realize, your nasal passages produce and release nitric oxide directly into your airway. This nitric oxide is then absorbed into your bloodstream, where it dilates your blood vessels, improves oxygen delivery, and supports endothelial function. Nasal breathing during the day, and especially during sleep, is one of the simplest and most underrated cardiovascular interventions available to you. Completely free, no prescription required. Pillar 3, stop the blood sugar roller coaster. Every time you eat, your blood sugar rises. That is completely normal and expected. But here's the problem. When you eat constantly, when your body never gets a meaningful break between meals, your blood sugar never fully comes back down. It stays chronically elevated. And that chronic elevation drives a continuous low-grade inflammatory response that directly damages the endothelial lining of your arteries. This is not about eliminating carbohydrates entirely or following any extreme dietary philosophy. It is about giving your body time to process, to recover, to reset. Longer gaps between meals allow your insulin levels to drop, allow inflammation to subside, and give your vascular system a window to repair itself. Even shifting from grazing all day to eating within a defined window can produce measurable improvements in vascular markers. Your arteries need rest just as much as your muscles do. Pillar 4, take your stress seriously. I mean genuinely, urgently seriously. Chronic psychological stress is one of the most underappreciated cardiovascular risk factors in existence. When you are under chronic stress, your body maintains elevated levels of cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate stays elevated. Your blood vessels remain in a state of constriction. Your endothelium becomes inflamed and dysfunctional. And over months and years, this wears down your arterial walls in a way that is every bit as damaging as poor diet or physical inactivity. I am not asking you to eliminate stress from your life. That is not realistic. I am asking you to build deliberate recovery into every single day. Even 5 minutes of slow, intentional breathing, extending your exhale longer than your inhale, activates your parasympathetic nervous system, lowers cortisol, and shifts your body into a state where repair is actually possible. That is not a wellness trend. That is measurable, documented physiology. Use it. Pillar 5, hydrate like your heart depends on it, because it does. When you are even mildly dehydrated, your blood volume decreases and your blood becomes thicker and more viscous. Your heart has to pump harder. Your vessels are under greater strain, and your kidneys, which play a massive role in blood pressure regulation, are forced to compensate in ways that are not sustainable over time. Water is not a passive health habit. It is an active cardiovascular intervention. Most adults are chronically underhydrated without ever feeling acutely thirsty, because the thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive with age. You need to be intentional about it. Start your day with water before anything else. Keep it accessible throughout the day. Make it non-negotiable. Now, I want to bring this all together because I think the most important thing I can leave you with is not a list of strategies. It's a mindset shift. Your cardiovascular system is not a fixed, predetermined fate. It is a living, breathing, dynamic system that is responding to your choices every single hour of every single day. The research on arterial adaptation is extraordinary. When people make meaningful, consistent lifestyle changes, real food, real movement, real recovery, real hydration, vascular function improves, endothelial health improves, nitric oxide production increases, arterial stiffness decreases, not in theory, in practice, in real human bodies, measured in real clinical studies, and it does not take years to start seeing a response. The body begins adapting quickly when you give it the right environment. But here is the catch: you have to start. You cannot think your way to better arteries. You cannot intend your way to better circulation. You have to act. Do not wait for a diagnosis. Do not wait for a warning. Do not wait until the symptoms force your hand, because by the time symptoms appear, years of opportunity have already passed. The best time to protect your arteries was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now, today, in this moment. Your arteries are the highways of your body. They carry oxygen and nutrients to your brain, your heart, your muscles, your organs. When those highways are open, flexible, and clear, everything works better. You think more clearly. You move more easily. You feel more alive. When they narrow and stiffen, everything suffers, often long before you realize it. You have more control over this than the medical system has ever made clear to you. And that knowledge, that genuine, evidence-backed understanding of your own biology, is one of the most empowering things I can offer you. So take it, use it, share it with someone you love, because arterial stiffness is not just your concern. It affects everyone around you who matters. I'm Louisa Hart. Take care of your arteries, and they will take care of you. Now go make today